So get ready. Today we are gonna learn how to ride backwind. Let's do it. Woo!
Welcome back, you beautiful people, friends, family, co-workers, loved ones, whoever watches this, we love you. We appreciate you. Thank you for liking and subscribing and being a part of this journey with us. Today we got a really exciting one. It's actually incredibly exciting because I struggle, can't even do it. So this will be fun. But today we're gonna go into how to backwind your wing and ride that way. Gwen is the man at this. And it's really cool and really challenging. It's a little bit more wing work. So Gwen, I want to ask you some questions. Let's break it down. So what would you recommend first thing for number one tip to get started in learning how to backwind your wing?
Well, first I would say before you get into it, learning how to do the 360 is a good thing because
downwind 360?
Yeah, the downwind 360, because that's kind of like it's you from this skill you're gonna build up into riding backwind longer and longer. So basically, when you do the 360, you start the same as you would go into the backwinding. But when you do the 360, you just don't stay backwinding for very long. You just pass through. You are backwinding for half a second, depending on how wide you go, and then you get out of it. So, I would say if you can do that, then slowly you can extend your 360, and in your mind you are like, okay, I'm gonna start my 360, and then I'm gonna stay there. Once you do your first 180, you're gonna stay there for a second, maybe then 2 seconds, and then you come out of it. The same way as you would end your 360. So I would say
in stages.
Yeah, that would be your way to get into it slowly, because it takes a bit to figure out how to stay there, use the power in a way that your wing is not really designed to be powered, and keep riding. So the cool thing about that 360 is you can really go step by step, 1 second, 2 seconds. So that would be my first tip. Now we can also talk about the gear. So again, you don't want to be overpowered. You don't want to be underpowered either, because the thing about your wing getting power in that position is it's not efficient. So you definitely want to have enough power on the light day. Sometimes it can be hard. With a big wing, it can be hard as well, because it's just a lot of things that can touch the water and all of that. So I would say a good day where it's blowing 15 to 20, it's ideal to learn and without too much chop. Again, with your foil, you just want something that's you are comfortable with, something that has good glide. So what you usually ride, I would say if you are comfortable with it, go for it. You don't necessarily need any specific gear for that. And then foot strap or no foot straps, again, it's kind of up to you. Whatever you do usually, it's not gonna affect anything. When we do it with foot straps, but that's because we always ride with foot straps. And then just a few tips when you get into it. So let's break it down. You are riding, your good stance. I'm a regular, I'm approaching, I'm gonna start a 360. So I'm gonna do a jibe, bringing the leading edge down. Now my strut, I try to keep it at 45 degrees. Some people keep it kind of flat and totally lean into it. I like to have a tiny bit angle, so still the leading edge toward the bottom, and my strut 45 degrees. And then with my hands, sometimes I just I'm still holding the handles, but with my fingers, I go and I touch the strut. That just gives me a tiny bit more control over the wing. And that's all you do. You are going to be pushing against it. So you have to be getting used to slowly.
And it's, I don't mean to interrupt, but I was just going to say it's a really good point you just said right there. because depending on your wing, whether it's handles or booms or also that they move, they're not super rigid.
Yeah.
And so when that happens, that wing can move around on you, and that's why Gwen sometimes opens his backhand to keep that wing
pretty much
to be more solid.
Hold the strut, and that just gives you a tiny bit more control. The other thing is like, you know, you just want to find the position, and that's just going to come with like trying over and over, but you don't want to fight it. So
now, are you going straight downwind, broad reach?
You can pretty much do anything once you like get a good feel for it. I would say going upwind is harder. Going downwind is easier if you have enough wind.
But then you'll come off foil if you don't have enough power.
Well, exactly. So as soon as you start doing downwind, you better be like pretty good, you know, have enough power, because you are not only your wing is not efficient in this way,
and you
but
see
you're
his
also
hand
losing.
right here, everybody. See how he's doing this? This is a golden ticket. I'm telling you. I would recommend playing with your wing on the beach before this, because I literally went out and I would be a mess with my hands. I had no clue what I was doing.
And I usually actually still like keep at least a finger on the handle, just, you know, to keep it, you know, keep like control of the handle, but my other fingers are on the strut. So then, you know, you lean into it, and it does feel a tiny bit like a twist.
Are you more on your toe side rail?
On your toe side, and then you do want to let some power out, not totally be like against it, otherwise again it's going to stop you. It's going to stop your momentum. You're going to start to slow down. The wing is going to do weird thing. So it has to be flowy. You can't be fighting it. If you are fighting it, it's not going to work. So that's why I'm saying like the 360 is the perfect way to get into it, because you can just go a tiny bit
slowly
at a time.
Yeah.
So I would say, and then the way when you end it, you are like, you know, backwinding. You want to come out of it. Either you open, you lift your front, the front handle, you bring it up. Now you finish it like your 360, exact same way, or you just go downwind and you force your wing. Boom, you are out of it. So you can come out of it upwind like a 360, downwind where you pass the wing through it. Or another variation that I like to do is when I'm already riding toe side and I go like I'm gonna do a jibe. Now, as I'm going downwind, the wing doesn't have any power. I can pretty much move it around. So now at this point, no more power in my wing. I bring it above my head, putting it upwind of me, and I actually go back, edge back, and I go like 90 degrees to the wind, and I can ride against it, backwinding. Again, you can come out of it right away, which is a cool way to do like your tack, where you would like start like a jibe, bring the wing upwind, go like a tack. It's kind of like everybody's like, when you see that, you're like, what did just happen? Because it's hard to like understand. You just went for a jibe, then end up doing a tack. But that's a cool transition. Or you can just again ride backwinding for a while, come out of it, and you might be very confused at this point.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, here's the best part. This is reality, people, because when Gwen started doing this, he's like, oh, you just drop the leading edge down and this and this. And I was struggling because I was not understanding where to put my hands. But here's what I'd say. Keep it simple. Most important one is, and I'm not saying I have this dialed, I'm just saying there's a general feeling to this that works. And that, in my opinion, is leading edge down 100%. Whether it's down more squarish or more 45, you're gonna figure out what's comfortable with the pressure on that wing. And that's something that you can't really teach. That's more of a control of what you feel. And so we were joking, but I was doing it, but I was a mess. I had hands everywhere. I was pushing on different things because I didn't really quite understand the concept, and I didn't play with it on the beach. I just went out and gave it a shot. So a perfect, I guess my top 3 tips for what I felt was beneficial is definitely, go into that turn leading edge down. And now it's even making more sense to me, his backhand, because he was like, oh, you just push against the center bladder. And I never could figure out, like, is it this hand that he's pushing on, or is it this hand? And like now it totally makes even more sense that it's this hand that's really solid. So really, you know, these are those things that you kind of learn with time, and it starts to kind of, even myself, to start to instill what I should be doing out there.
And then we say it all the time, but that's a move you can practice on the beach before you go in the water. Get used to that feeling of how does the wing feel when it's in this position, totally like, you know, like 180 or what it's supposed to be when I'm riding. So practice on the beach first, get a feel for it, and then add it onto your 360 1 second at a time. And then slowly you're gonna figure it out and you can ride forever backwinding.
Slowly, I'll figure it out, everybody. Slowly.
So now let's take it on the water, and we're just gonna show you how it feels right from onboard view. Let's do it. You approach it like you would be doing a 360. So I'm gonna go like I would be doing a jibe, and I'm gonna get leading edge down and keep the strut about 45 degrees. Now I can exit of it like a 360. Boom. And I'm gonna go again. So approaching like a jibe, leading edge down, and then I lean into it, and then I can exit it just like a jibe, finishing and pass the wing through. Let me go back upwind. I'm gonna tack here. All right, again, I'm riding, I'm pretty powered, and I'm getting into it, jibe, leading edge down, and now I lean into it. My strut is 45 degrees, and if I want to get out of it, I open, I go upwind, and I essentially finish like a 360. All right, let's tack. The other way to get into it is riding toe side. You go like you do a jibe, pass it, and now I didn't have quite enough wind, but let's do it. Let's do that again. I was kind of like losing wind. So I'm riding toe side. I'm gonna do like I'm jibing past the wing. Now I ride, and again, boom, I can exit it. Whoa. Not much wind on the inside. Okay. So the key to be able to ride backwind is really, one, you definitely have to be pretty powered. So right here, I'm gonna jibe. I'm just gonna do traditional approach, like a 360. And even if you can like be on the wave, it will help. Not sure if I'm on the wave here. Might have to pump. But boom, I lean into it. And you just have to do it over and over. Open, go upwind, pump. All right. I'm gonna do again the toe side. So I'm gonna tack. I see a swell here, maybe I can tack into the swell. I'm gonna go like I jibe, so downwind, so there's no more pressure in my wing. Now I can pass it to the other side. Again, I don't have that much wind. You definitely want to be powered for this one. And you can go slightly downwind, exit it, and you're back out.
How awesome is that? Is that not the coolest feeling, just the way the wing sits there? It's one of the coolest things. I'm still a work in progress with it. Hopefully you guys join us and you become a work in progress, because this is one of the coolest things. It's a new feel. I feel like every time I go out and wing, I'm always just something in the back of my mind to play with. And this is one of those you just add to the list. You crack off downwind into a jibe, maybe start playing with that wing a little, backwinding. You never know where it can lead you. So hopefully we just inspired you to give you a little bit more motivation to add a new thing to your quiver of things to do.
Drop your comment if you got it dialed, if you are in the process, you know, like
check Damien LeRoy in the process.
And the cool thing is having that community. Like we are learning together, we are figuring it out together. You can ask questions, people can like bring some support, like encouragement. And
any tip you can bring it in there, because we're just helping everybody.
Exactly. There's so many ways to explain it, and sometimes the one way might feel confusing, another way might feel like you might click with it. So share anything, any tip in your process with us. We hope you get it.
We always end on a wonderful note, and this one's super important. This is like on my heart, but I just want to tell everybody, look, wake up every day with a purpose. You know, a lot of times you get caught in that daily work grind, your family, whatever it is, and you get a little unmotivated. Wake up with a purpose. Start with just simple as making your bed and getting into something, and just start accomplishing the littlest of things. It's the same as this trick with me. I didn't come out here to go crush this today. I came out to play with it. And the reality is, if you have those crazy hard expectations like I have to get it, you're always gonna be upset because you probably don't succeed in everything. So make a plan that day. Make it small and be grateful for those little achievements. And it can be as simple as, you know, I'm depressed and I don't wanna go outside, and I step outside and I take fresh air and I walk back inside. Good for you. That's a start. I know it seems so simple and so easy, but sometimes you get caught in these ruts where it's you want to be in a relationship, or you want to meet somebody, or you're struggling with work and you really want to do this passion project, but you don't have the funds. These are all those things. This is life. So most importantly, wake up with a purpose, keep driving towards it, and always be super grateful for those little things. Like the moment right here with my friend right here, I'm grateful for this moment. May seem so small, but it really is large in the bigger picture.
I mean, and in the end, like when you have a goal, regardless of what it is, you know, doing the riding backwinding, or, you know, like even a bigger goal of like, you know, I want to be like there in 10 years. Sometimes it seems so far, right then we stop. And so that's why, like exactly like you said, setting small goals and just take a step and be be proud of yourself when you did that small step. As small as it is, it's a win, and you have to like recognize it as like, you know, I did it. I took a step. It might seem like nothing, but I'm one step closer. So like you said, you know, maybe it's just going outside, you know, and just every small step, just make it so that step still seems achievable, and then slowly you are working toward that goal that at first might have seemed like impossible. So I would say that's the most important. Just get into it slowly, and recognize that you have made some progress, as little as it is.
And know you have people right here that love you, care about you, and there's plenty more people out there that care about you and love you. I 100% believe that. And if you're struggling with that, shoot us a note. We'll make sure we try to pick you up, and we're just grateful for you. And we hope this helps. It's a really fun trick. Get out there. Check. Damien's still working on it.
Go out there, have fun.
I got a good coach.
You just it doesn't matter, you know, if you went out there and you didn't, you were not able to do anything, you were not even able to get up on foot, you still went for it. You went out, you got out there, you got moving.
It's good for you.
Just that alone is amazing. So
little gains. Be grateful. On that note, we'll see you next time. Thank you for liking and subscribing and being part of this journey. We appreciate you.